What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Above Par Golf Show. Today's guest is Matt Roberts, playing on the Jamega Tour. Matt, how you doing?
I'm good, thanks, Alex. And yourself?
Yeah, good, thank you, mate.
Good.
So it was a good time to jump on, just because obviously this weekend you're going to be playing down in the Wales Open, not far from yourself. You're from Cardiff originally, right?
Yeah, so I live in a place called Cowbridge, about 30 minutes from Celtic itself. So yeah, it's nice to I'm able to stay at home, and it's nice, home comforts and all that. So it's gonna be good.
Yeah, a little bit of a home favourite then this weekend. And you just mentioned to me there that you've been down at Celtic today. So was it a practice round today, or just going out and checking it out?
Just a few holes. I think I played 11 holes. Just see what it's like, get everything sorted, and a bit of practice as well. See where the game's at. Saw my coach as well. So just getting used to the surroundings, I suppose, and just get ready for the week ahead.
Yeah, is it a course you played before in amateur tournaments then, or is it going to be a first for you?
No, just more general knocks with mates and stuff like that, and members there. But I've only played it like a handful of times, not many. But when I had played it pretty well. So yeah, I'm feeling confident. Yeah, feeling confident.
So how did you get on the other times that you said you played pretty well? Were you keeping score or just having a knock like you said?
Yeah, no, we scored, but obviously, a bit of fun as well. So, but I think I was a couple under once or twice. So I know I'm pretty happy where, we're playing there, and see what we can do.
Well, it looks like you might get some decent conditions anyway if the weather holds up again next weekend. It's not going to be what would be typical weather down there, so hopefully it will. I mean, would that help your game? What's your game like? Do you prefer to play in those kind of conditions, or does it not bother you?
It's one of them. Everyone's the same. You just got to adapt to the surroundings. But yeah, if it's like today, it's like 29 degrees. It's a bit hot, and it's hard to concentrate. You got to take on a lot of fluids. So I think by the time Thursday comes around, it starts to cool off. Only a couple of degrees, but it helps. But yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with the way it's going to look condition wise. Definitely better than rain. That's for sure.
Because obviously, if you look at who normally plays on the European Tour, I mean, you've got a lot of Europeans, the Spaniards on there, French, South Africans as well. So they're all used to these kind of hotter conditions, whereas us British aren't quite used to it. I mean, do you play much outside the UK? I know you played Spain. Was it last year?
2 years ago,
a couple of years ago,
just before COVID properly hit. Yeah, and I had a good tournament. I think I was top 10 in the Spanish Am, so that was good. But yeah, I've always played. I feel like I play well when weather's good and greens are running nicely. Because my grandparents live over in Spain, so I've spent my fair share of time over abroad playing golf. So yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with when it's a bit hotter out.
Yeah. So for this week, then, what's the kind of routine for you this week? What's the plan from today until the weekend?
Just get myself familiar with the course again. Just take it easy. Don't need to do any more than what I would normally, because it's you can get so ahead of yourself, and there's tour tracks and tour players. I got to keep practicing and stuff like that. I'm just gonna take it easy. I got 18 holes tomorrow. I might play then another 9 on the Wednesday. Bit of light practice, and just enjoy myself and take it easy.
Yeah, you got to just treat it as another tournament, haven't you? Because like you said, you got some big names on there. I mean, have you got the tee times yet, or will you get given those?
No, not yet. I would have thought they'd be out Tuesday evening or something like that.
And anybody you kind of wouldn't mind being partnered with them, or you're not bothered?
Yeah, probably the bigger guys. So there's Matt Wallace is there, Robert Roth. Yeah, who else?
Obviously Sam Horsfield's there. He's a big name on European Tour. Yeah, Matt Wallace is the favourite, I think. And then you've got, Justin Harding's quite a big name now. But yeah, so I think is it Jack Senior that's playing as well, who's just recently done all right at the Open. So yeah, some pretty big names there. But
good name. So I'm happy about that. It's nice.
Yeah, I reckon Matt Wallace would be a decent one to go. Yeah, he seems like a bit of a character, especially if he loses his head a little bit.
It'd be interesting.
Yeah, it's good though. But yeah, so you said preparation wise, just played some holes, nothing kind of out of the normal. So how many practice rounds would you normally play before the amateur ones, or do you not normally do that kind of thing?
There's normally one or two. So that's what I mean. Like today it was kind of just, just take it easy. But yeah, normally one or two. Well, with the British Am just gone, just the way it worked, me and another friend, we were able to be there like the week before, and we just played a few more times. But then when it came to just before the event, we had a few days off, and then practice round, and then obviously onto the competition. So normally one or two, but obviously with that circumstance, it was a bit more the week before. But yeah.
And so for anybody that might not know, then how did you get into this particular tournament then? Because it was an amateur invitation, right? So
that's right. Yeah. So
what are the requirements for you to play this weekend?
It was literally just a case of being in the Wales national squad and being lucky enough to be selected to represent Wales and play in the tournament, to be honest.
Okay.
Just a bit of good golf, and yeah.
Yeah, so it's not like a case of you had to finish in, I don't know, the certain leaderboard in the amateur tournament. It's just the fact that you
literally
played for Wales.
Just because I was in the Wales setup. I'm being fortunate enough to get an invite because obviously Wales being the host of the event is
sure.
Yeah.
There's a few other boys in there, Welsh boys in there as well that are amateurs. Are they people that you kind of know from the amateur tournaments, or that you played with before?
Yeah, so Archie and James Ashfield. I played with Archie a bit more than James, but I'm pretty I know him pretty well. But yeah, so again, them two were lucky enough to get an invite as well. So we're more than happy to play in a European Tour event, so it's great.
There might be a little bit of competition going on between the amateurs there. Like, you want to make sure you're finishing as the top amateur, don't you?
100%.
I believe I think in the Wales Open, like the others, they give trophies out for the highest finishing amateur, right?
I don't know. Obviously in like majors they do, but I'm not sure whether in this kind of like European Tour event, maybe. I'm not sure. Like it would be nice, but I'm not wishing on it kind of thing.
Yeah. Have you played in like a big event like this before then? What's kind of is this the biggest thing you're probably going to play in, or?
This is probably the biggest event I'm going into, but like it's when you look at it, it's no different than playing like top amateur stuff, elite amateur stuff, at the end of the day, these all players, we can all shoot decent scores. So it's, and like they don't hit it, obviously they hit it great, fantastic, but it's not like, oh my god, like I have not seen that before kind of thing. So I'm pretty comfortable like standing on the range next to these guys.
So what's like the goals for you? Have you got anything in mind? Have you spoke to, you mentioned your coach there before. Have you spoke to them and like, right, this is the kind of plan for this weekend, or is it just kind of go out and enjoy it, like you said, treat it like any other tournament and see what you can do? Yeah,
as you say, literally just go out and try and play some good golf, just enjoy it, enjoy the experience, try and take a lot from it, and just obviously the main goal is, put myself in contention, that's what I'm feeling. So yeah, as long as I, take it easy and just stick to my process and play some good golf, then I'm pretty comfortable as thinking we can get there. So yeah.
And anything you've been particularly working on either last week or this week in the build up with your coaches, anything different you're doing based on the fact that you played the Celtic Manor, or just the standard?
No, just a general like keep working on the swing, because my tendencies, I get a bit not disconnected, but sinking of the body and the arms. So just been a bit of work for that. Prior to that, and a few weeks before that, we had a Welsh squad week, a few days away, and that was good. Got the game, well, especially short game sharp, and it was nice few days, in preparation.
Yeah, and you mentioned before that you've obviously played with the national team. So tell us a little bit about that experience.
I mean, I've only been in it for a few years, and especially like the high performance squad is currently this year. So like it's been great opportunities being able to, obviously not recently, but before you were able to get travel, and when you got selected for teams, Europeans and stuff like that, is you get to see a lot more golf courses, a lot more, you know, different areas and people and all that, and really help like expose yourself to new things. And those are the things that really make you develop as a player.
Sure.
And so being in that Welsh setup is it's been huge for my development.
Yeah, and this the tournament this weekend, I think it's sponsored by Gareth Bale or something like that?
Yeah, so it's sponsored by Cazoo, because it's called the Cazoo Open.
Yeah,
Like a new sponsorship, but it's been supported by Gareth Bale. Yeah,
yeah.
so that's pretty cool as well.
Have you ever seen him down at any of the courses playing? He's a pretty decent golfer, isn't he?
Yeah, as well. I see him down at the Vale Resort now and again, because I'm also a member down there, as well as Royal Porthcawl, and see him there when he's at Wales squads, and you know, I'm like, hopefully I can get his number and we can play some golf or something like that. That'd be quite cool. But
yeah, I mean, he's playing off, I don't know what it is these days, but it's pretty decent.
Like that,
four-ish. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a decent player.
Yeah, what do you make of the Euros this year?
Wales itself could have done better, but you know, we did all right getting into the knockouts, but you know, just didn't have that magic to go any further. But it was nice to see England get to the final, but it was a shame that they couldn't get it done. But you know, it's always nice, as even though they're, you know, the English is the part of the UK, and it's nice that, you know,
Sure.
Seeing them get as far as they did, it was great to see.
Yeah. And I want to just go back a little bit then in terms of your golfing career. So how did you get started in golf? What sort of age were you? Why did you get into it?
So I played a little when I was like really young, and you know, just dad and all that. He's so into his sport, and so I got into a bit like that. But then I played also tennis and all, football, rugby, literally all the sports. And then I got to about 13. We went to the range, and I was kind of like, oh, this is kind of cool. And I was like, Dad, I want some lessons. So from like 13, I was kind of like having a few lessons, playing a bit. But I was also then playing football still and rugby. And then a couple of years on, I picked up basketball, and I made that more of a priority, because I got into the Wales national side for that.
Wow.
So I did that for a few years, but then I stopped it because I was like, I really want to focus more on golf. So I stopped international basketball, but still playing for the club. And then when I got to 18, and when I went to uni, I went to a golf uni down in Plymouth. I then fully concentrated on golf, and that's when all the other sports went out the window. So from about, I'd say 16 is when my main interest in golf started.
Yeah. So what sort of age were you starting to play in all the amateur tournaments and stuff like that around the UK?
So I only really had about 2 years of junior, and then men's obviously there, but then elite amateur stuff probably the past 3 years, if that.
Okay.
Yeah, so like it's very fresh, if anything. You know, it's not like I've been around playing in these top events for a lot of years. You know, it's all very new to me still. But you know, it's not you know, I feel like, you know, I can do well in a lot of the events I play in, and so, you know, it gives me great confidence.
Yeah. And how's the amateur tournaments been going for you then since you started? I know you won in was it Berkshire? Was it the one?
Yeah, in 18, yeah, was a Berkshire Trophy. Yeah, so that was good. That got me. That actually got me pretty much into Wales. Cause I got selected then to play Europeans in Poland that year, which I was absolutely thrilled about. And then from there, I've had some, you know, some good events. Like I said earlier, Spanish Am came top 10, and then obviously past few weeks ago in the Scottish Stroke Play again, another top 10. I think I was tied 7th, and then made the knockouts in the British Am, but unfortunately got knocked out. So yeah, I've been playing some good golf. Just need to be a bit more consistent, but I feel where my game's at, you know, is trending in the right direction to do something special soon.
Yeah, and obviously you played on the Jamega Tour, as I mentioned there, which is like a development one that goes to the pros, isn't it? So what's your sort of plan for, let's say, the next 3-5 years with your golf and your golf career?
So with that, obviously turn pro either probably end of this year, maybe next year, see where we're at and see what results we've got, and all that jazz. And then so maybe obviously Q school would have been mine for European tour, but however this year is obviously been cancelled, so it would then be looking at then Euro Pro and obviously all those mini tours and stuff like that. So it's kind of one of those, just play some good golf and then all the rest kind of takes care of it. But yeah, definitely be turning pro in the next couple of years and then see where we go.
So are you eligible to turn pro yet, or you still need
absolutely.
To...
So you can turn pro so if you're off 4 or below, you can turn pro. You can literally enter an event, say you're a professional, and then off you go. So yeah. So
your goal is kind of maybe to gain a bit more experience first and maybe get a little bit better, then do it at the right time.
Precisely. Yeah, it's all about, for me, I feel like it's all about striking when the iron's hot, playing some good golf, and hitting the ground running. And so we're good to go, kind of thing.
This weekend might be a nice little taster for you then, if your goal is obviously to get on the European tour. I mean, what sort of differences do you see, besides obviously the fact that there's going to be some better players in the fields? What sort of differences do you feel like you're going to experience between the amateur tournaments that you used to and say the European tour events?
More behavioral differences, a bit more. It's serious. It's their job. Because obviously you get the guys that take it seriously, but also there's the guys where just your average kind of guy that just rocks up. So definitely more that aspect, and then just the quality of like golf that's played, it's this high standard. So with that, it just helps you improve. You're a small fish in a big pond kind of thing, so it helps you you get better instead of the opposite way around. So yeah, it's probably those 2 points.
Is there anybody on that tour at the moment that you kind of watch and try to analyze, not copy, but kind of take notes from, etc., or do you not really like to do that with the pro players?
No, it's more like not on the European tour itself, more on the PGA. Like you say, Colin just won. The way he mentally and all that, it's just incredible to be able to control how he's playing and his emotions and all that. It's just those are like the differences between being good and being being great. Really them, and you watch, but you want it to. You don't want to copy. You want to do it yourself. You want to have your own flair to to your game that people want to watch.
And for somebody that's playing in the amateur tournaments and obviously trying to turn pro, though, what's that kind of like in terms of, like, are you having to balance between golf and still working at the moment, or are you just purely focused on golf at the moment? How's that kind of journey?
So right now, like during the summertime, it is literally all golf related. Focus on golf, and then it's obviously been hard during lockdown, but everyone's found it hard. So you just got to plow through. But during the off time and during the winter, like more Christmas time, then I get a bit of work in to get some money in. Just helps the funds and keeps me occupied, because when that time of year is cold, is wet, you don't always want to be out in it. So having like a little bit of part-time, it does actually help you just keeps the mind fresh, keeps it stimulated, and just you don't get bored of golfing all the time. So it's kind of nice.
Yeah, because I spoke to other amateur golfers that are on similar sort of journeys, and they talk about it on the TV as well, about how it's it's quite difficult, because people think that, oh, you're a professional golfer or an amateur golfer, that everything's all rosy, but you've still got the bills to pay and the journeys to pay for and all that kind of stuff. And if you're not making cuts, etc., it becomes really difficult. So how do you kind of like keep your mind constantly focused on golf then, let's say through that off time when maybe it is like you do want to relax a little bit, but at the same time you got to try and focus on the golf?
Just having good people around me. My parents are very supportive, and you know, they understand what I'm trying to do and what I'm going for. Also got a great coach that, you know, is very wise, and he knows what he's talking about. So just having some good people, and just always just kind of going through what I'm trying to achieve and what can we do to like to get better, and just, you know, time management, practice, you know, what different kind of practices can we do to improve our weakness areas, and all that kind of thing is what keeps it moving forward.
Yeah, and let's say for some amateur golfers, then maybe that are like, you know, at my sort of level, but also amateur golfers that are maybe trying to aspire to be, you know, what you're doing and trying to become professional. What sort of golf things do you think they should be working on in terms of drills, stuff like that you're doing with your coach now, for example? What kind of tips would you give to an amateur golfer that's aspiring to be professional?
So definitely, the improvement areas for me was like my wedge game. So being able to, you know, have different, like for me, I work clock system when I work my wedges. So having like 3 yardages with each wedge, kind of different lengths of the swing, and kind of like nail that down, get your technique good, work with your coach and get that like kind of in, and like that, those areas, or that area in specifically really helps you lower your score. Even if you're like 3 foot closer, you know, you're getting better, and you got a better chance of making a birdie instead of, you know, trying to 2-putt for a par kind of thing. So I think as an amateur trying to get better, definitely wedge game is very important.
Yeah, because again, like I've spoke to some different people and heard other interviews, and they talk about, let's say for somebody that's played in Q school, or somebody that's played on the same tour as you, or whatever, there's sometimes different parts of the game that you need to be good at depending on where you play and what tour you're playing. So what would you say is the most important in terms of playing in amateur tournaments in the UK? Would you say it's the wedge play that's the most important to be good at, or is there a different part of the game?
Because, you know, if you can put it to like closer proximity and making birdies, that's what you know keeps you in it. Because the amateur game, or even the professional game, you know, you need to be making birdies, but like amateur, you have to slog it out a bit more. So being able to get up and down, you know, and like especially when it gets a bit hard, when it gets hard, you got tough pins and stuff like that. That's where it's you know, that's where you're going to make your money.
Yeah. So this weekend, then obviously, like we talked about before, local tournament. You got your whole family going down on the first couple of days, or friends?
So I got the old man on the bag this week.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah, so that for him, he's proper excited. So
was there any debate in there? Was it like, oh, you know, I think I'd rather have a local that knows the score?
Yeah, there was a little debate. Just you know, I wanted like the right person for me. And he has caddied for me a few times, and you know, he loves it, but also like he works hard. So I can put like my full trust in him that he will do the best job he can for me. And also he's free, so that goes a long way. So I also got my mum coming down. She'll be down for a couple of days, so she's probably excited for that. And then I got some family and friends coming down during the week as well, so that'd be nice to see them. But I think I'm gonna get a good amount of support from the Wales crowd this week, so it'll be nice.
It's going to be nice. It's a good point though about the caddy. I mean, it's something that we see even in the professional games now with some of the best players, like, you know, Lee Westwood, who has his you know, wife on the bag, and I think Stuart Sink has his son on the bag, and it's because they just prefer to have that kind of more relaxed, fun, you know, kind of feeling about it, which helps them. Whereas some, they might say, well, I'd rather have like a local that knows the course inside out. So would you say that's kind of the route that you prefer to take then in general? Just have that bit more, like you said, somebody that you know, somebody that you can trust, somebody that's going to make you feel relaxed around the course?
Yeah, so I think at this stage in my career, where, you know, this is like the first time playing on the tour, you know, I think having that like kind of like familiar, I recognize my dad,
Sure.
and so like, you're more comfortable out there. You
Just
see,
having a familiar face with you.
that's it, exactly, yeah. So it's just more chilled. Obviously, maybe further down the line, if we are like we may get a card for instance, and there may be having like a local, or just someone who takes, it's their job to be a caddy, then
Yeah.
I'm sure that will benefit me as well. But right now, yeah, a familiar face is better.
So I presume, obviously, when you went today and you said you're doing 18 tomorrow, the pair of you are making notes all the way around, or your dad's making
Yeah.
notes of all the little bits of the course. I mean, is it too early days to ask this? But I don't know, have you got kind of like an idea yet of each hole, like a little bit of a layout
Yeah.
of what you're gonna do for each hole?
Yeah, so we got a few little strategies in the books. Yeah, but again, right now, more tomorrow. It's just some feeling it, see how the course is playing. Just kind of dialing in, getting the yardages and all that. Just getting all the surroundings, and just so we can get in the zone then for when it gets to Thursday.
I mean, this episode will already go live on the Thursday when you start playing. But have you got anything that you can kind of mention now that you've seen already, that you maybe in terms of your strategy, or would you rather not say?
No, I think I'll find out more tomorrow, to be honest, how we're going to play it, and what the weather dictates, because that makes a massive effect on how we play holes and stuff like that. So yeah, more tomorrow after playing the full course. Well, I know kind of what I need to do and what I'm going to do.
Sure. Well, Matt, it's been a pleasure to talk to you. I know you're a busy man, so I'll let you go, and I wish you all the best for this weekend. I'll be watching, and hopefully you can get a good result.
Thanks, Alex. I appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
All right. Cheers, Matt.